Yeah, police station, yeah. Pardon?
Not over there, but just dealing with someone at the minute.
Alright.
Cheers, thank you, mate.
Alright, mate, no worries.
A bit of privacy, that's all.
And
You
who?
film me all you want, just you get a little privacy for us.
Alright, yeah. Well, you know there's no privacy in public, don't you?
I know that, mate. I just.
You know I can stand here and film anything I want.
I know you can. It's like the guns of a heart. I don't want a young girl's face going on social media.
No, I wouldn't put it at somebody's face who didn't want to be filmed. Alright, mate, thanks anyway. Hi, ladies. Having a nice day? Yeah. Lovely car to be driving around in, isn't it? I wish I had one. I will soon now. Are you busy now? Pardon? Oh, is there someone in the car? Oh, sorry. I won't film them. I didn't even see her there actually because it's darkened, and with me, I've got polarised glasses on, and that's just black. That.
Yeah, I've seen
you. Yeah. No. Can't see nothing. The camera can though. You have a nice day. Very polite, very professional. Like to see that, you see. My viewers like to see that, but it's not all the time it happens. Some officers think they're bullies and they think they can just tell you what to do when they can't, you know. Glad you know any difference. Ta-da. What is this place?
This it's a railway building.
It's a railway building?
Yeah, so it's offices and stuff.
Oh, you just here on call, are you?
Yeah.
All right. Helping the public out?
Yeah.
Somebody been hurt?
Not quite hurt, but we're just trying to sort some bits out.
All right. Doing your job then.
Aye.
Good lad. That's what we like to see, you know. My viewers mostly see corrupt officers bullying people and telling them you've got to do this and you've got to do that, which is not right, is it? Can I ask you the question? Are you busy? Right. Do you know legislation?
Yeah.
Do you know we're governed by police? And that's my channel's name, Police by Consent, you see, because I've been studying law for 6-7 years, and the way I understand the law is legislation, acts and statutes only carry the force in law by consent. Well, how come you force legislation or push it?
As I'm sure you know, and you've probably gotten lots of different pieces of footage, having your different explanations of it, and obviously an Act of Parliament has gone through a process by elected people.
It starts out as a bill,
Obviously, then we enforce the laws that are brought in by the government.
Yeah, but that's what I'm explaining to you.
There's lots of people obviously who only want to believe common law, but obviously there's a lot of case law within the courts, and obviously if people don't like it, obviously the best bet is speaking to the government, isn't it?
Did you know that?
What I can do to change that.
No, did you know that it's not law? Legislation's not law. A bill goes through Parliament. They discuss it, decide whether to pass it, and it goes through the Lords. Then if it gets passed, it has Queen's assent. It becomes government legislation, an act into statute law, which is not really law without consent, you see. You see, that's what people don't understand.
It still goes through court, doesn't it? And people still, it's up to the judges to decide, isn't it? And
what's it got to do with judges?
Well, the laws go through courts, don't they? And that's how sentences are brought about.
No, crimes go through court. A law is something written on a piece of paper, a rule. Like the law of the land is common law, as you just stated rightly. See, no harm, no loss, no injury, no trespass, no mischief in contract.
Equally, there's acts of Parliament that protect vulnerable people, such as sexual offences.
Exactly, and that's a good thing.
That's not governed by common law, is it?
No, exactly, but we have common law, you see, and protects us against.
So we pick and choose acts of Parliament. Sexual offences that protect young children.
Well, you tell me. How does legislation carry the force in law?
I'd say it all goes through the relevant processes, doesn't it?
No.
Yeah.
How does it get the force of law?
It all goes through government, doesn't it?
No. It by consent of the people.
Okay. I'm not getting into the argument over. Obviously, you've.
I'm not arguing with you.
You have your views of how it.
Well, why do you think I'm arguing with you?
No, you're not arguing. But I'm not, getting into the debate of law.
It's not a debate, mate. And what it is, you see, you're pre-constable, yeah? And it's 7857. What's your name and where you're stationed?
I'm PC Powell, and I'm based in Liverpool, Lime Street.
All right. See, police constables are here to uphold the law, yeah, and you do a good job of that. Somebody does something wrong to somebody else or property, you arrest them, you send them to court, and then the jury finds out whether they've done something or not, yeah, and they get punished. But like legislation, which is by consent, and it doesn't carry no force without consent. So if you send an affidavit to 657 MPs and to the Chief Constable, who's ex now, Andrew James Cooke, right, you send an affidavit and it's unrebutted, stating that the law does not carry the force, legislation does not carry the force in law without consent, and I do not consent. And if you can prove otherwise, I'll accept that. So, and it's unrebutted, Chief. So, I'm taking my consent away from legislation, so it doesn't apply to me whatsoever.
And that's lawfully. What you want to believe.
No, that's not a belief. That's a fact. That's a fact in law. Do you believe that's a belief, an affidavit?
Well, I believe that legislation we should abide by, because a lot of legislation protects the vulnerable.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does, and that's why it coincides with common law. So if somebody's being harmed or damaged or property is being damaged, see, the law comes into play, and a lot of action statutes are the same as common law, but there's a lot what's not, like wearing a seatbelt, driving too fast. If you're on a country lane and there's no member of the public for miles around and you're driving fast, you're causing no harm, and you're causing no obstruction to anybody. See, and you can still get fined for that, but really you can't, because if you don't consider. Yeah, you can, but that's everyone's responsible for their own safety, aren't they? Really.
There's still harm, though, isn't there?
Yeah, but we appreciate people looking after our welfare and stuff like that. But if we choose to look after ourselves and we don't require their help, see, we've got a choice. So we don't need the help of action statutes. We've got a choice to choose, you see, and that's what I'm going around trying to educate the police. The difference between legislation and law.
Yeah.
There is a big difference, what people just don't really understand. I've been studying law for like 7-8 years now, so I pretty well understand it.
Of what law they can't follow, but ultimately it's until something happens, isn't it, and someone gets arrested.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's for the courts to decide.
Yeah, so I was say I was travelling in my car, and I had no seatbelt on, and you pulled me over. And you said, I've got no seatbelt on. I'd say, okay, fine. I chose not to have it on. Then you'd probably try and issue me a ticket under the legislation, and I produce an affidavit, unrebutted, right, and acquiesce to.
You've seen a lot of the stuff, to where people put all sorts of things into COVID legislation up, and there's successful convictions where people were pushing them.
Yeah, that's because people don't understand the law. They consent in ways they don't understand. You see, it's all deceit. See, I understand the law, and you will never ever.
That's obviously when it goes to court. It can be argued with a judge, and the judge is the one that ultimately makes a sentence.
Yeah, but it's not a judge in a court, is it?
As you know, I'm fully impartial.
It's not a judge in a court.
The judge has to decide the sentence, but your jury haven't.
Do you know?
And it's your peers.
You're not listening to me, are you, mate? You're not listening to me at all.
Anyway, the conversation's.
Well, do you know the courts? What you're saying is courts, the administrations, the commercial administrations, and a private for profit.
Yeah.
And that's how they work, you see, because people don't understand. They don't have to comply to legislation. They go along with it because they think like people like you and other people call it the law when it's not, wrongly. See, I've sent an affidavit to prove me wrong, which is unrebutted.
Yeah.
And I've done that in 2016.
You're still waiting.
And and it's tax as well. You know, people don't have to pay tax as a contribution. People go to jail because they comply, and what they do, they consent when they don't understand that they've consented.
Actually, that's not something I can sort out, is it?
No, it isn't. No, I was just asking your views on it, really. But
there's not a lot I can do with that. The best people are those, obviously, is the Crown Prosecution Service and other agencies, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're a private company as well. They're registered on Companies House. So, and they're all funded by the people. And if people knew that, like, the police were a registered. No, it's not a belief. I can show you on Companies House on the internet. Merseyside Police is a registered company, mate. Do you know that?
No, I've not.
A registered company for profit. Yeah. It's a private company for profit. You know your warrant card? Can I see your warrant card, please? See what it says? Police officer. No, that's. Oh, you're not a constable, are you?
Yeah.
That's not. Is that a new warrant card? That's not your warrant card.
All warrant cards are different.
Are they? Yeah. Oh, it's the first time I've seen one of them.
Yeah,
you see when it says police officer and it says police constable.
Different police forces have different.
Oh,
careful, when you break your phone.
No, I
different police forces have different warrant cards.
Yeah.
They're not all standard.
All right. Well, I've noticed on a lot of them, it says police officer in capital letters, which is a language other than English. So in English, in the correct sentence structure, parsing, syntax, grammar, see, that doesn't say in English, so it doesn't say police. It's foreign language. It says POLICE, which doesn't sound like police, but people don't understand proper English, you see.
Yeah.
So all the documents and all the writing in all capital letters, it's not in the correct sentence structure, so it's not in English. So you're a foreign corporation, or you work for the Crown Corporation, which is foreign, based in Washington, D.C. So you basically, this government is acting as a public service, and the police are acting as public services, but they're a private foreign corporation. And people are starting to learn that now and starting to hold it to account. There's a lot of paperwork going into the courts, which is being ignored at the minute, but it can't be ignored forever.
If obviously that's what's going through, you've got to let the process go through, and once something comes of it, that's when we'll have the answers, isn't it?
Yeah, but what do you think will happen when the majority of people realise that legislation is not law and it cannot be forced on people without their consent?
It's not the case, but obviously...
It is the case. It is the case, though. It is, you know. You go and look it up.
I finished the conversation now, but thank you very much for your time.
I'm a member of the public, yeah, and
I know, so I said
you can't finish the conversation, mate, if I want to talk to you. That's your job to talk to me. Very rude, you, aren't you, for a little man? He believes legislation can be forced on people. See, people, this is the attitude of the police. They think they can force legislation on people, when really they can't. Hey, love, excuse me, constable. One of your officers left a hat on a car there. Someone might steal it. You're welcome. Right, have a lovely day.